Tonight, an unprecedented jackpot.
My heart beat much faster.
My wife was with me, and I said, probably we won 80 million.
The local lottery winners splitting the biggest prize in Canadian history. Plus, focused on freedom of information.
This is a budget that is about protecting the Premier and his phone records.
95% of all information will be able to FOI.
A provincial budget passed, fast-tracked through the legislature. And the Iceman cometh.
So the amount of ice was certainly a challenge. We keep thousands of ice blocks in our freezer. We didn't have 3,500 sitting around.
A Huron County business and its role in Drake's album publicity stunt.
CTV News with Carlyle Fiset.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. We begin tonight with an unprecedented lottery jackpot claimed by a pair of Londoners. They're splitting an $80 million prize from a ticket purchased at a local mini-mart. Lauren Stallone has more on the Canadian lottery history they've now made.
Just a few months ago, two friends from London purchased a lottery ticket from this corner store behind me. What they didn't know then, their lives were about to change forever.
Let me introduce you to Ontario's newest multimillionaires, Greg and Chris from London.
The pair immigrated from Europe to Canada in the 90s with the hope of a better life for their families.
When I come to Canada, we start to work because we dream about house, we dream about cars, we dream about send the kids to school.
Right now we can have a much better life.
The friends made Canadian lottery history as the winners of the largest lottery prize payout.
Because you played combination play for Lotto Max, you won the second prize on that draw. And here is a check for the second prize of over $400,000.
Greg and Chris say they couldn't believe they won.
My heart beat much faster.
My wife was with me, and I said, probably we won 80 million. And I was very happy.
That's the first I've seen that big money like that.
The owner of Happy Days Mini Mart says the friends are regular customers, and while he's happy for them, it is business as usual for him.
I was thrilled a few seconds, but after that, pretty much the same. I just focus on my daily routines.
But for Greg and Chris, after years of hard work, life will never look the same again.
I never miss a day in this 28 years. The retirement will be different now.
Lauren Stallone, CTV News.
The provincial government has passed its spring budget despite rampant criticism over changes to freedom of information laws, allowing the Premier and his cabinet to keep all of their records secret. Siobhan Morris reports.
Anger across the aisle as MPPs pass Ontario's 2026 budget. A budget with a tax cut for small business, a cap on ticket resale prices, and more money for home care. But tucked inside, a dramatic, retroactive change to freedom of information laws.
This is a budget that is about protecting the Premier and his phone records. Because guess what? We all know that this Premier has been up to something.
The overhaul will keep phone records from the Premier, ministers, and their staff secret. It comes after a court ordered Doug Ford to turn them over. He insists
95% of all information will be able to FOI.
Is that the 5% that is related to the RCMP investigation of the $8.3 billion Greenbelt scandal? Is that 5% related to how the government's using the Skills Development Fund as their own personal piggy bank?
The finance minister argues this is about matching Ontario with other provinces and the federal government.
The Westminster model on cabinet confidentiality is critical.
He already knows that there's cabinet confidentiality. He's trying to pull one over on everybody.
The anger in question period didn't only come from the opposition benches.
Why does this Premier, who claims to be accountable, make it so very hard to hold?
Do you know why the members down here? Because CP24 didn't want her anymore, bottom line. Yeah, it hurts, doesn't it? It hurts when you aren't wanted. There's a reason why you're here.
An outburst that some opposition leaders think demands an apology.
That is beneath the office of the Premier. an office that he's privileged to hold.
I think it's just another example that the Premier's out of control.
Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
There are growing concerns among the region's county wardens about proposed changes to local governance. Under a new provincial bill, wardens could be appointed instead of chosen from a council of elected representatives. Brian Bicknell reports.
They're elected representatives who oversee maintenance of roadways, parks, garbage collection, and a host of services. Now, some are concerned democracy may be under threat when it comes to upper-tier governments or county councils.
Considering that they're making decisions about local issues, that it should be local representation and not appointed by a body that's larger than ours.
You know, with the elected warden via appointed warden, I think it could start a slippery slope maybe, but I think if the system is currently working, if it ain't broken, don't fix it, right?
The Western Ontario Wardens Caucus is sounding the alarm over the province's Bill 100, the Better Regional Governance Act. Proposed changes would include provincially appointed wardens rather than wardens selected from within elected county councils.
Municipal government in general works really well. If your garbage gets collected and the road gets plowed, you don't really care who does it.
Caucus Chair, Oxford County Warden Marcus Ryan says local leadership matters, especially in rural areas.
If Western Wardens Caucus is right, and that if some of the changes that could happen were negative, then I think residents would say, hey, how come I can't talk to somebody anymore that I used to be able to talk to, or how come I don't get to vote for that person? And I think that's the reason that we expressed the concern to the minister in the letter, is we think that this works.
The concerns stem in part from proposed changes announced in Simcoe County earlier this month. Under the new bill, the province would shrink the size of that county council and appoint the next warden. The appointee would be given strong chair powers similar to strong mayor powers. The proposal also parallels the overhaul of education, where the province is considering changes that would reduce the powers of school board trustees.
I think it's a great idea. The local public have no idea on what they're doing, especially with school trustees. So why not let the people that know what they're doing appoint the proper person?
They don't know what they're talking about up there in Toronto. Let's have it for here, local. It should always be elected.
The caucus says it's advocating for the province to ensure any reforms maintain locally elected leadership, recognize the difference between municipal structures, reflect rural and regional realities, and be developed in partnership with municipalities. Brian Bicknell, CTV News, Oxford County.
We are live on location tonight at Flux Pottery. Coming up, I'm going to tell you more about the London Artist Studio Tour. Perhaps this may be something you're interested in checking out. Tonight we're in Wortley Village. Temperatures across the region extremely warm today, and everyone's out and about tonight. It's an absolutely beautiful patio evening. 21 degrees, the winds light out of the south on the hour at 15 kilometers per hour. Temperatures across Midwestern Ontario climbing as well. We are under the influence of high pressure, a bit cooler towards Wyerton at 15. And as we head towards Chatham right now, coming off the lake, just 16 degrees. Now it's been clear, lots of sunshine, but I'm watching a warm front that will start to approach tonight, and that could kick off some showers as we head through the late evening towards midnight. Not expecting anything heavy, but there is the chance for showers overnight. Coming up Friday morning, we will see the chance for a little bit of light rainfall, but the weekend, not a washout. We'll take a look at a big system that will stay north of us, but as it brushes by, we could pick up some light precipitation. I'll have all your local forecast details live on location from Flux Pottery Studio coming up in just a bit.
Thanks very much, Julie. Sarnia police are leasing more space, which they say is an effort to ease overcrowding at their current headquarters. Police leadership are also dealing with controversy over their proposed plans for a new facility. Jerry Dewan reports.
During Thursday's Police Services Board meeting, Chief Derek Davis laid out plans to lease 2 spaces in an effort to alleviate overcrowding at Sarnia Police Headquarters.
These are pressure points that we can action today, but it doesn't fix all of our needs.
Davis didn't give specifics, with lease arrangements still to be finalized, but he says one location will be in the downtown.
We're going to relocate our victim services, our impact team, and our MHEART team, which is part of our community outreach and our downtown patrol presence. So I think it's a great opportunity.
The second location will shift collision reporting from the police headquarters parking lot.
A bad snow day, there are a big lineup of people that are here, and it's not good for the public. It's congested, it's crowded, there's undue delay.
The new leases will be added to space currently being leased at Lambton Mall for a training facility. It's also where this media event was conducted. Davis says the new leases will cost the service about $200,000 a year with a projected 5-year term. Davis says there are still issues with the current headquarters that don't have a quick fix, including a prisoner sallyport that can't accommodate contemporary transport vehicles, and the gun range and holding cells are not up to modern standards. But Davis isn't pressing the issue when it comes to building a new headquarters, initially costed out at $91 million, but expected to be significantly more.
We're exploring all opportunities. We're looking at all different types of solutions, and at the end of the day, the facts will dictate what we need to do.
Davis also addressed a $1.5 million civil action brought by the board against the Sarnia Journal, its parent company, and majority owner Nathan Colquhoun. The suit alleges articles regarding a consulting business being operated by Davis and the hiring of his business partner by the police service were defamatory. Police Services Board Chair Kelly Ash says she supports using taxpayer money to defend the chief.
He doesn't deserve it. He's done none of the things that are being claimed, and he's only made this service better.
This is not a sudden thing. This has been a long road building towards this, and despite all the off-ramps that were clearly offered, some people choose not to take them.
In Sarnia, Jerry DeWan, CTV News.
One day after we reported contract talks between City Hall and London firefighters were broken off, we've learned they're now getting back to the bargaining table. Daryl Newcomb has more on the phone call between the mayor and union president, putting negotiations back on track.
I think all the parties are always committed to trying to find a local decision rather than have someone else decide.
Mayor Josh Morgan tells CTV News that contract talks will resume with the London Professional Firefighters Association after he had a conversation on the phone with the president of the union.
Our commitment to each other today is let's get back to the bargaining table. Let's see your next proposal. We'll be able to talk about that and we'll move forward to find a great deal for everyone.
London's 470 firefighters have been working without a collective agreement for almost 16 months. On Wednesday, LPFFA President Jason Timlick announced that Civic Administration had recently broken off negotiations and the matter was being referred to third-party binding arbitration starting in August.
It's amazing what 24 hours can do. I just received a phone call from the mayor of the City of London, Josh Morgan, and we had a good discussion.
Because they're an essential service, firefighters do not have the right to strike and can't be locked out, which means if collective bargaining fails to reach an agreement, the last resort is binding arbitration. In London, a first-class firefighter earns $109,802 annually, which the union says is below the average of comparator municipalities, where they'd earn about $123,500 a year. In addition to closing that $12,000 to $13,000 pay gap, the union is also seeking benefit increases and language in the contract that protects ill and injured firefighters as well as their families if a firefighter dies in the line of duty.
It makes me feel encouraged that the parties will be able to get back to the table and eventually come to a made in London deal.
The LPFFA's most recent contract expired December 31st, 2024. Daryl Newcomb, CTV News.
A repeat call for firefighters in Middlesex County last night, tackling the same house fire twice in less than 24 hours. With more from Delaware, here's Sean Irvin.
Debris is stacked on multiple corners of a newer home in Delaware, not far from the on-off ramps of Highway 402. It was here that the first of two fires broke out around 9:45. Crews from Delaware were the first on scene, with their deputy chief reporting heavy smoke pouring from the home. They were soon joined by firefighters from Melbourne and members of the Strathroy-Caradoc Fire Department. The latter has jurisdiction over the scene, even though the Delaware station is less than a kilometer away. Strathroy-Caradoc Fire Chief Stephen Beasley took initial reports.
It was obviously a well-involved structure fire at that time, heavy smoke and flames.
The priority was determining if any residents had been hurt. Ultimately, it was discovered the family that owns the property was not home. 24 firefighters spent several hours extinguishing the flames. During the fight, one received a minor injury. Beasley said it was determined there were no remaining hotspots. Now, the initial fire scene was cleared by mid-afternoon, but fast forward about 12 hours later, and suddenly, smoke was again showing. Fire crews arrived to put the blaze out. Beasley said it was difficult to detect.
It was fortunate that there was a neighbour that was coming home from work at, I think, 1 o'clock in the morning. I think the call came in.
Fire crews arrived to put the blaze out. Beasley said it was difficult to detect.
Even if you think you've got everything, there can be potentially a void space, and that was the situation here.
Although it is believed the blaze began in the garage, the fire is not considered suspicious. Beasley reports damage is extensive, but he added it is unclear whether or not the home can be repaired. In Delaware, Sean Irvin, CTV News.
Toronto firefighters spent hours this week dealing with a publicity stunt promoting Drake's new album. The rapper arranged a massive stack of ice blocks in the middle of the city, which, as Scott Miller reports, were all sourced from a small town in Huron County.
A tower of ice in downtown Toronto that captured the city's attention this week originated from a small company in Huron County.
We have done some really exciting projects that are more challenging from a carving side. Obviously, these weren't carved, but just watching it all happen was pretty cool.
Ice culture based in Hensel has gained a worldwide reputation for its intricate ice carvings, putting together displays for everyone from Conan O'Brien to Canadian Tire. But when they got a call 2 weeks ago for more than 3,500 blocks of ice for an ice display for music icon Drake, they had to quickly fire up their freezers.
So the amount of ice was certainly a challenge, and we worked with some partners out of Quebec that helped us meet the number, because although we keep thousands of ice blocks in our freezer, we didn't have 3,500 sitting around 2 weeks ago. So this was a very fast turnaround.
With the more than 3,500 ice blocks secured, they shipped the ice to Toronto earlier this week, where they were assembled by Mog Design and Drake's team, and if social media is correct, by Drake himself. A 16 ice block high promotion for his upcoming album release, Iceman, with the release date hidden somewhere within the ice structure, which prompted some dangerous behavior and brought out the fire department to melt Ice Culture's ice before its time.
So it was disappointing to see it go so soon, but I certainly can't pretend to understand what they were faced with. So
still, it was 48 hours of promotional success for Drake and Ice Culture, who have another famous client to add to their long list of international ice customers.
This one was definitely up there, mostly because of Drake, obviously. The excitement around it, the resulting excitement around it was new. That was a new one, just to watch.
In Hensel, Scott Miller, CTV News.
We are live on location tonight at Flux Pottery. We're with the owner, Andrea Decay. Now, Andrea has an interesting story. Andrea was actually a lawyer and then decided to follow her passion of being a potter. And we're in your studio tonight, Andrea. So first, tell us a little bit about your pottery and your studio.
Well, my studio is right in Wortley Village. I've been here about 3 years now, 2.5. I make functional pottery for everyday use. It's designed to be pretty durable.
And you have all of these beautiful glazes. Can you tell me, you even said that you went back and you learned how to make it. Tell me quickly about that.
I did. It was really important to me when I was opening the studio that I had a unique color palette that I really liked. So I went back and learned glaze chemistry to be able to develop them myself. So
it is absolutely beautiful. Now, this London Artist Studio Tour that's going on in Wortley Village, tell us about that.
Yeah, so this is it's a great event. It's a self-guided tour. In many cases, you can walk. There's 28 phenomenal artists in 27 studios throughout the city. Runs all weekend, Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. Great opportunity to peek in people's studios, talk to the artists.
I really love that about it, because I love the fact that you get to come into the studio, you get to check out the beautiful artwork, and at the same time you can ask those questions. I didn't know that you were a lawyer before, and that really creates this a different kind of view of someone, right?
It does, yeah, absolutely.
And following your passion like this, do you have favorite pieces before?
I have lots of favorite pieces. I have, I love making cake stands and berry bowls and pictures. I love doing pictures and vases.
I feel like those would be the most challenging ones to do. That's probably why you love them.
Maybe. Cake stands are definitely one of the hardest things to do.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
As you mentioned, the artist tour goes on all weekend long, kicking off a Friday evening. And again, it's a sneak peek behind the scenes in some cases, and really checking out all of the local artists in our community and what they have to offer. Thanks so much, Andrea.
Thank you.
We'll be back. I'll take you through the extended forecast. Carlyle, we'll look ahead to the weekend. And yes, we do have some sunshine to talk about. More on that coming up in just a bit.
All right, Julie, thanks very much.
We're ready to go into detailed negotiations. We're also ready to wait if that's what has to happen.
When we come back, the Canadian strategy ahead of trade talks with the Americans. Plus, the serious flooding threats across the country in the midst of an exceptionally wet spring.
Download the CTV News app and stay on top of local stories as they unfold.
We begin tonight with Ontario's latest.
Customize your feed and watch live wherever you are. ctvlondon.ca, your home for news.
Welcome back. American authorities say they are considering new trade protections as talks heat up ahead of formal negotiations. The Prime Minister says he's ready to negotiate now, but also willing to wait. With more on where things stand at this point, here's Mike Lecouture.
As this Ottawa pub gets ready for a busy night of playoff hockey, the shutout of U.S. spirits has led to a run on Canadian alcohol.
We really get asked more about Niagara wines versus the Californias, and we get asked about the Canadian options for spirits as well.
The decline in American booze sales is likely why U.S. trade officials continue to bring it up as an irritant.
There may have to be an enforcement action to deal with this issue on wine and spirits in Canada.
When pressed about that today, the Prime Minister pushed back.
You know what's an irritant? 50% tariff on steel. 50% tariff on aluminum, 25% tariff on automobiles, all the tariffs on forest products. Those are more than irritant.
Appearing on CNN, Premier Doug Ford made no apologies for Ontario not stocking U.S. alcohol and Ontarians not vacationing in the U.S.
It's unfortunate that Canadians are boycotting spending tens of billions of dollars in the U.S. This can come to a quick end. Everyone can thrive and prosper.
While criticizing the Carney government for making concessions and not getting any in return, the Conservatives say it's time to hold firm.
I don't think we should squander any more leverage after learning from Mr. Carney's mistakes.
Polyev believes the focus should be on the 2.6 million Canadian jobs affected by the trade war. The Prime Minister agrees, adding negotiation over American alcohol is a two-way street.
We can make progress very quickly on that, with progress with in other areas.
Carney added Canada is ready to wait for those talks if that's what has to happen, using an increasingly defiant tone as the CUSMA deadline approaches. Mike Lecouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
A father in British Columbia is sharing a tragic story about the loss of his daughter. She got caught up in an online network which has been designated a terrorist entity in Canada, believed to be grooming vulnerable young people and encouraging self-harm. Andrew Johnson reports.
The first suicide attempt.
When Jason Sokolowski's teenage daughter first attempted suicide, he noticed something odd and began to put together the disturbing pieces of what had led up to her transformation. He says she'd been groomed by someone identifying himself as culprit.
It was asking for her to cut. He was degrading her.
He says he later learned the person on the other end of the chat was part of the 764 network, and his daughter's suicide attempt was performative.
It was on Discord. There was a self-harm group that was open on her laptop when she was in the hospital, and in it there was a bucket list of self-harm that perform these acts and you get status within the group. You become a celebrity within the group.
She ended up taking her own life, a death her father considers a homicide. The end of a spiral that can begin when vulnerable kids are approached on games like Roblox or on TikTok, where conversations then migrate to platforms like Discord or Telegram. The initial contact, say experts, is often positive and doesn't look alarming to parents.
They don't come out of the gate hard and fast. One of the things that they do is they look for youth that are looking for a need. A good example, friendship and acceptance.
Victims end up coerced to send sexual images, mutilate themselves, or harm animals. The group is not simply motivated by money.
This group and the associated groups known as the COM are evil. And they are monsters, and their goal here is to inflict as much emotional, psychological, and physical harm on their targets as possible.
He feels education is the best tool for parents and children. Ottawa is currently considering whether to restrict access to social media for young people in Canada. One grassroots group of parents says that can't happen soon enough.
It's clear that it's unsafe. It's clear that parents can't do this alone. You don't know every platform that's out there, every device your kid can touch.
Jason Sokolowski agrees.
We don't let kids drive cars, use guns, drink alcohol. Social media is turning out to be just as dangerous to children as any of those three.
Sokolowski says he and other parents who have lost children to online extortion are going to be in Ottawa later this month to push the feds in person to better protect Canadian kids. Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Vancouver.
Communities in Manitoba are monitoring an ever-changing water level situation. As Alex Carper reports, they're hoping for the best while preparing for the worst.
So this is the river here, how far it's risen.
Water levels along the Icelandic River in Arborg, Manitoba have climbed steadily over the past few days, raising concerns for nearby homes.
In 2022, it was probably another 1.5 feet higher, so we're hoping it doesn't get to that point.
It's put the community north of Winnipeg on alert and scrambling to make thousands of sandbags.
The concerns are if it does go up another foot or so, there will be houses that will be impacted.
Crews in Arborg also worked overnight Wednesday to break up ice jams along the river. In nearby Riverton, similar scenes as crews carved out a path to keep water moving.
From what we see forecasted, yes, there's a good potential that more water can come. And nobody wants to let their guard down.
Across the Interlake region, overland flooding has shut down several roads. In Peguis First Nation, floodwaters have already begun overtaking roads. The community is under a state of emergency, bracing for conditions similar to 2022, when roughly 2,000 residents were forced from their homes. Officials say preparation is critical as the situation evolves.
If you have some issues, if you got friends, family that can help, by all means, come and do it. You know, it's better to be prepared rather than to have it come upon you too suddenly.
For communities like Arborg and Peguis First Nation, it's a wait-and-see type of situation as water levels could rise over the next few days. Alex Carper, CTV News, Arborg, Manitoba.
And we're rejoining Julie Atchison now, live on location for us tonight for a look at the forecast and another lovely spring evening, Julie.
Yeah, thanks so much, Carlyle. Sure was beautiful today. So many people out enjoying the gorgeous weather. I feel like we've been waiting so long just for a couple nice days without rain. Well, delivered this week with some beautiful conditions across the region. I know many people just wanting to get outside and enjoy. We do have some good weather coming up this weekend. Not quite as nice as the past couple of days, but definitely some outdoor conditions. As we take a look at our high temperature for the day, we hit 21 degrees, well above normal for this time of year. A normal daytime high of 14. The record 28 set back in 1985, and you still have a bit of time to get out for a walk before the sun sets at 8:16. As we head north to Wyerton, 15 degrees and 20 through Mount Forest, and Huron Perth, 21 degrees. Again, conditions this evening will stay nice and warm. We are starting to see the signs of a little bit of instability. You can see just east of Georgian Bay. That's actually virga, so that's precipitation that's evaporating before it hits the ground. There is a warm front that will slowly start to approach as we head into tonight, and that's why Environment Canada has issued just a chance for showers. Now, that probability will briefly go up to about a 60% chance overnight and first thing tomorrow morning. Look at the warmth, though, that's surging in from the south. I want you to focus on that. It's not going to be quite that warm tomorrow with the cloud cover, but it's battling it out with some cool air from the northwest. And there's snowfall, heavy snow in parts of the northern prairies, upwards of 50 centimeters. We are not in that. We are in some showers in the extended forecast. 8 degrees overnight in London as we go out 36 hours. You can see as the rain will start to approach the area. This is as we head into Friday morning. So it looks like a little wave of rainfall coming in. And then once again, as we head into Friday night, we'll have some showers overnight into Saturday morning. Now, this forecast model has the bulk of that rain moving out quite quickly. And then Saturday looking not too shabby, mainly cloudy. Possibility of a few breaks, and heading into Sunday, a mix of sun and cloud. So Timing is going to be pretty good with this system. I've been going back and forth all week. The forecast model's really not wanting to bring the rain through the day, so that's good. Mix of sun and cloud as we head into your Friday afternoon. Again, the greatest probability of showers will come first thing in the morning, and the winds out of the east 20 with gusts of 40. Saturday morning, we could squeak out a few showers first thing, mainly cloudy, but 10, so a bit cooler behind this system. That's that cold air coming in from the northwest, so not quite as cold as it is in northwestern Ontario. It will moderate as it comes over the lakes. 16 degrees on Sunday with a mix of sun and cloud. Sunday will be your day to get out into the yard if you've been itching to get into the garden or perhaps just taking a nice walk. Gorgeous conditions. Heading into Monday, overcast, but note the next 7 days, temperatures averaging close to where we should be for this time of year, even a bit above. With the exception, Saturday will be our cooler day into Sunday, but we're right back up under that sunshine. This time of year, those sun angles getting quite strong, so even if we get a bit of peaks of sunshine, the temperatures quickly recover. Overnight lows as well above the freezing mark, so things looking good. Next opportunity for showers comes in tonight through the overnight, first thing tomorrow morning, and then a lull in the activity before Friday night's rain into early Saturday morning. Now, the 33rd annual London Artist Studio Tour kicks off a Friday evening at 7. It carries into Saturday and Sunday, and as you can see, LondonStudioTour.ca is where you can find out all the details. There's an interactive map on that webpage as well that you can go to check out all of the different studios that you actually can go in, see, and chat with the artists and check out all of their amazing artwork. That's a wrap from Flux Studio tonight. I'll send things back to the newsroom.
All right, Julie, thanks very much. Still ahead, resale repercussions. What to watch for with scams aplenty looking to capitalize on World Cup ticket buyers.
All the keywords are in. If you entered even one, you have a chance to win our big $50K payday.
Keep your phone on you tomorrow morning. Make sure the ringer is up loud because we could be calling you with $50,000. Good luck.
Canadian financial intelligence agents say criminal organizations seem to be using young students from India to extort people and businesses in this country. According to the Financial Transactions and Reports Analysis Centre of Canada, or FinTrack, extortion targeting South Asian communities in Canada has evolved to a sustained campaign of coercion. Agency officials say the practice involves intimidation and coordination across multiple provinces, but mostly in Ontario, BC, Alberta, and Manitoba. They advise banks and anyone else who handles money to watch for signs of extortion-related activities like unusually large cash withdrawals or wire transfers. A warning for anyone looking for World Cup tickets. The ones that are available are expensive, and if you aren't going through the official tournament marketplace, there's a chance you could get scammed. Pat Foran reports.
Vanessa Polakeni and her husband Paul Vella of Concord are huge soccer fans and were very excited about the chance to see a World Cup match. She entered a lottery and in October was able to buy 4 tickets.
Unfortunately, when we did purchase those tickets, Toronto was already sold out, so we went with Boston.
Polakeni bought the tickets for her husband and 2 friends for just over $1,700. They later discovered the match would be Haiti versus Scotland and made the decision to sell the tickets and use the funds to try and see a game in Toronto. To avoid scams, they used FIFA's official marketplace.
We did post them on December 16th, all 4 tickets, and they sold within minutes.
The tickets rose in price, and FIFA takes a 15% commission on ticket resales from the buyer and seller, but Polakeni was to receive just over $3,000. The website states it could take up to 60 days to receive your funds, but after 3 months and countless calls and emails, Polakeni says she has no idea when or if she'll get her money back.
I really don't know what is going on, and I'm just very disappointed. Now we have no tickets, and we have no refund.
CTV News also reached out to FIFA with calls and emails, but we did not get a response. However, fans in other countries have faced similar delays in getting refunds. Days after we contacted FIFA, Polakeni says the money appeared in her bank account. She's been refunded the $3,000 and says it's a relief. She hopes to use the money to help her husband see a World Cup game in Toronto for his birthday. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Canadian and U.S. markets drifted lower today amid continued oil price volatility and geopolitical instability. In Toronto, the TSX lost 42 points. In New York, the Dow fell 180. The Nasdaq dropped 219. The Canadian dollar down 0.14 cents today. On commodity markets, gold dropped $29 an ounce. Oil climbed $2.89 a barrel. Later on CTV News, Justin Bieber back in the spotlight, his Coachella performances, bringing fans back out to his hometown. Welcome back. We are premiering a new episode of our Leading London series today on our website, where I sit down with the Chief Executive Officer for Youth Opportunities Unlimited, Andrea Topham. Here's an excerpt from that conversation. I want to ask about policing in particular. I imagine an organization like yours maintains some level of professional relationship with police. How would you define that relationship in its working sense?
We have a great working relationship with the London Police Service. We actually have officers on site on the second floor at our Youth Justice Centre, which is operated by the Ministry of the Attorney General. And we reach out to police whenever we need to partner on something, and they've been very supportive in helping us to create safe spaces within our communities.
Do you get the sense then, from a policing perspective, there seems to be I don't know about mandate is the right word, but the idea from the provincial government, for example, with school resource officers, there's been an imposition there. Not your jurisdiction by any means.
Not my jurisdiction at all.
But there's a sense that I think there's a push for policing to have a more positive relationship with community in general. And the message I've heard from the chief certainly seems to be in line with that. Do you agree with, I guess, the idea that there should be a more cooperative perspective? Should young people and police have more friendly engagements on a more day-to-day basis?
I think that any time that police are able to interact with young people in a way that is friendly and fun and builds relationships and builds trust is a wonderful thing, absolutely. At a previous role in a previous organization, we had a partnership with the London Police, and we brought them on board to play baseball with young folks who lived in some of our communities. And that was a wonderful way for young people, like school-age children, to meet police officers and see them as approachable. I think that's amazing.
For my full interview with Andrea Topham, you can go to our website, ctvnewslondon.ca, and click on Leading London. A major London roadway was shut down for most of the day today. Highbury Avenue was closed from Hamilton Road to the 401 for the city's annual spring cleanup as crews picked up trash and debris left over from the winter months. The shutdown began at 9 a.m. and ran until about 4 p.m.
It's time for your London List, a rundown of local events around the region, and kicking it off with KP from Mornings on Virgin. KP, a new show opening up at the Grand, and lots of people excited about this one.
So excited. I've never seen it. I have my tickets already. It's Come From Away.
From the water through whatever's in the way to the ones who have come from away. Welcome to the Rock.
So this is a fantastic play. It's set in Newfoundland. If you don't know the backstory, definitely worth a Google search. But it's just a really good, feel-good, positive story of human connection and people coming together to help one another. Really excited for this. So that's happening. Kicks off this Tuesday at the Grand Theatre at the Spreet Stage, and that's going to run right until May 31st.
There's a show this weekend. It's a textile art show. Tell me about this.
Sounds really cool. It's Friday and Saturday. If you love embroidery, you love textiles, fiber art, it's at the Westmount Presbyterian Church, and that's happening Friday and Saturday. If you want to go and check that out, get some Mother Day gifts, and just admire some really fantastic art.
All right, there's a show at Aeolian Hall this weekend.
Yeah, Steve Poltz, all the way from Halifax.
Well, I played a lot of shows across this world, but tonight's the best I'll ever play. I'm handing you a pearl.
He's coming to play his new album. This is going to be such a good night. He has such high energy. He's a fantastic live performer. Tickets are still available for that at Aeolian Hall on their website.
And there's an event going on downtown London that will have folks running around and enjoying themselves in the city. It looks like a good weekend for it.
It's Holly. So Holly's happening on Saturday at Victoria Park. So So it's a really big party from 1 until 5. It's the one with the colors in the air. You're celebrating culture. You're celebrating vibrance and just the high energy of this festival. It's really, really cool. Lots of unique vendors as well. And it's just a really fun community event to bring everyone together.
Yeah, great celebration. And Earth Day is here and a great celebration happening this weekend.
Really excited for this one at City Plaza. It runs all afternoon. Over 3,000 people come and check it out every year. There's over 100 vendors. Wow. So you can learn how to live sustainably. You can learn how to just like help our planet, right? It's a big Earth Day, Earth weekend celebration, and really, really fun for the kiddos too. So definitely check that out. And it's free.
All right. Thanks so much, KP. That's your London list, and we'll see you next time. Our photo of the day comes to us from Woodstock. Thank you so much, Diane, for sending this colorful spring flower photo in as we head into the weekend. You're hoping to get into your garden. There'll be some opportunities, but also the risk of showers. The greatest probability coming Saturday. Sunday looks good, and temperatures will average close to above normal over the next 7.
Lebanese and Israeli officials have begun a second round of direct talks in Washington. They were expected to focus on extending a truce between Israel and the Hezbollah military group. A 10-day ceasefire was implemented last Friday. The latest fighting between the two sides started after Hezbollah fired rockets into northern Israel 2 days after Israel and the U.S. launched their initial attacks on Iran. Israel responded with a bombardment on Lebanon, plus a ground campaign capturing dozens of towns and villages along the border. Meanwhile, it appears further peace talks between the U.S. and Iran are unlikely.
This is a battle between the pragmatists and the hardliners in Iran right now, and the president wants a unified response.
Pakistani officials had offered to host another round of talks, but White House authorities suspended the U.S. vice president's planned trip. The Iranians have rejected efforts to restart peace talks, accusing the Americans of refusing to engage in good faith negotiations. The current ceasefire was set to expire last night. However, President Donald Trump extended it earlier this week with no definitive timeline. Just hours after Trump extended that ceasefire, Iran fired on 3 cargo ships in the Strait of Hormuz, seizing 2 of them. The Iranian regime released this video claiming their troops captured the ships. Trump has vowed to continue a U.S. blockade of Iranian ports, which the Iranians have called an obstacle in peace talks. Iranian soccer officials are pushing back on suggestions their men's national team will be removed from the World Cup this summer. Today, the country's sports minister said the national team is preparing for proud and successful participation in the World Cup. That was after American officials asked FIFA to remove Iran from the tournament yesterday, replacing them with Italy, who failed to qualify. Iran's first match is scheduled for June 15th in Los Angeles against New Zealand. A construction site in Delaware has become the site of a delicately placed osprey nest.
It's becoming the Osprey Hotel here in Delaware, so it's a cool little thing every morning.
The nest is about 50 feet off the ground. Officials with the construction company say they'll let the birds have the crane for now, saying they actually rented another crane for a different job in the meantime. Ospreys typically lay 1 to 4 eggs at a time, which are then incubated for about 40 days.
London's top stories.
We have breaking news tonight out of Ottawa. The latest on the
breaking news alerts.
I'm tracking an area of severe weather. It'll start.
And watch live.
A development now to a story from City Hall we brought you.
Download the CTV News app.
Weekend Spotlight, Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. I'm Sherry Flick, your host, inviting you to join me this Saturday at 8 a.m. We have someone coming in to talk about a common medical issue for men and women. That's Eurospot. Founder Aaron will be joining me. Also, what's new at Guess Where Trips and Big Brothers, Big Sisters of London and area. And Sean Irvin will be popping in to talk about a new project he has on the go. See you Saturday morning.
Welcome back. Finally tonight, Justin Bieber returned to the spotlight this month, headlining the Coachella Music Festival in California. His performances generated no shortage of viral moments, and that's translated into renewed buzz at the Bieber exhibit at the Stratford Museum. With more from his hometown, here's Heather Centerin.
Uh-oh, it's muted. 1 second.
Justin Bieber surprised fans at Coachella this year by duetting his old songs.
There we go. Oh, wow.
Even some of his old YouTube videos from before he made it big. There for weekend 2 of Bieberchella, Laura Braga from Brazil.
I cried the whole concert.
Braga went from the iconic Ferris wheel in Indio, California, to the Steps of Stardom Bieber exhibit at the Stratford Perth Museum. Braga is still emotional. She's been a fan for Bieber's entire career.
I was just a kid, and I have this dream to hug him, to have a moment with him.
Let's go.
His Coachella run reigniting that Bieber fever.
That definitely, I think I speak for most people when Bieberchella kind of reopened that for us. We were like, we all care about him and he made a huge impact on our lives.
The Stratford Museum's Bieber exhibit has been around since 2018, but it's been bustling even more in the last few weeks.
His legacy is undeniable, and I think that performance at Coachella just proves that this is now a new iteration of Justin. This is Justin the man, the father.
Not only do believers get to see hundreds of Bieber-related artifacts,
I can remember the clothes he used, and I can remember of myself in my room watching him wear these clothes.
A recent addition, fans also get their hands on some of his old belongings, from jerseys to shoes. And at the end of the tour, their Polaroid goes on the wall, a place where the Biebs himself signed.
So his fans get to become part of living history, part of the exhibit, and he will come back one day, we hope, and he'll get to see that.
Braga left her own mark on the wall, adding later that she'll never leave the Belieber fandom.
Thank you, Justin, for everything. It was amazing growing up with you.
Heather Centerin, CTV News, Stratford.
That's it for us. Thanks for watching. For your latest local headlines, you can always head to our website. For all of us at CTV News London, I'm Carlyle Fiset. Have a good night.